Hello and welcome to the People's Garage. Today we're going to be talking about trouble code P0128. In the industry, this is commonly referred to as the thermostat code because that's usually the associated repair that goes with this. There is a few things you got to check before you condemn the thermostat, such as the coolant temperature sensor. But basically, this code comes on when the car does not warm up to temperature in a specified amount of time after you start the vehicle. And this is according to the computer's calculations. There's only really two reasons this happens. Either one, the sensor that tells the computer this, which is the coolant sensor, or the ECT, is reading bad, is faulty itself, or it's causing the problem basically. And it's not reaching the specified temperature, which is usually 176 degrees. This can be determined by checking the signal wire of the coolant sensor with a multimeter, such as here. The chart for this is right here. As you can see on the chart, 176 degrees is the equivalent of 0.8 volts. So anything lower than 0.8 volts means that the coolant sensor is picking up temperatures higher than 176, where if it's showing a volt or anything higher than 0.8 volts, it's going to be colder than 176 degrees. So if you can feel the hoses, and be careful with this, don't burn yourself, touch them quickly first before you put your hands on them good. But if you can determine that the car is pretty much at operating temperature and you know it's hotter than 176 or 150, and you're reading this signal wire and it's telling you it's 2 volts or 1.5 or something, that's up there, you can pretty much determine that your coolant sensor is giving a bad reading, and that's the problem. Otherwise, you need to check for a stuck open thermostat. A stuck open thermostat is going to allow the coolant to pass through the radiator right off the bat, or too early, instead of letting the car warm up like usual. So what this means is that the coolant sensor is picking up that the coolant is not reaching 176 degrees within a certain amount of time, and that's what sets this light on. So to get this light off and the problem fixed with the check engine light, you really have to replace the thermostat so that it warms up properly. You want to do this anyways because when it takes too long to warm up, it wastes gas because it's going to give the car extra fuel to get it to warm up in time. This is your emissions systems doing this. Not to mention, it's not good for the engine to run cold too long. It causes the oil to sludge after a while, and it's just not good for the overall length of the engine. So if you have determined that the thermostat is a failure, you must replace the thermostat and then clear the code. I hope you learned something from this video. I try to keep these kind of brief and to the point, but I do allow you the option to email me if you have any further questions or something that's not clear to you. And that email is mypeoplesgarage@gmail.com. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the subscribers. Any advice to my subscribers is always free. So feel free to email me if you have any questions. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in to The People's Garage.